What up, y'all? So right now, I wanted to talk about my experiences with Amazon Relay and why I really love working for Amazon Relay as a box truck driver, owner operator, at the local level. Because I'm making really good money. At least in my opinion, I feel like I'm making really good money based on the amount of money I'm putting on gas, based on the amount of money that I'm making daily, my take home after I'm putting gas and all that stuff. That's something that I've really learned how to take advantage of. And this strategy has been working really well for me. And I won't go too deep as far as like what my strategy is or what I do to book my routes. If you guys really want to know what I do, just start either hit me up on the comments and just let me know if I see enough people, because I'm brand new to all this. But if I see enough people are interested or watching this video and y'all want to know what I'm doing, I'll go ahead and make a video and just go more deep into what I do, so that you guys can see or get a little bit of insight on what I'm doing to make more money at a local level out here in California with Amazon Relay. But if not, you guys can always hit me up. You guys can always hit me up through my email or just send me a DM, and just tell me what your questions, what your concerns are. I'm more than happy to help y'all out. I'm not claiming to be an expert. Far from that, but I can just tell you from my experiences. My experience, I've dealt with good months, I've dealt with bad months, but as of recently, since about April, I've dealt with nothing but good months. And so we're in September now. So if you guys really want to learn my ways and what I'm doing, just hit me up and I'll be more than happy to share that. But what I really like about working with Amazon is the fact that there's no middleman, I guess. Like, there's no dispatcher that I have to talk to. There's no broker that I have to talk to. There's no factoring company that I have to deal with. It's all just an online platform where I go on there, I look at the load board, I determine whether I want to book my routes or not. They have the price on there. It's not like, hey, I can only do this for $1.69 a mile. Like, I'm not gonna call you and waste my time at $1.69 a mile when I could see on the load board it says this many miles paying $1.69 a mile. Like, why am I gonna push the book button if I see that it is that? If it's going your way and you're willing to take that route paying that low, that's up to you, right? But just make sure that y'all don't take those low paying routes while I'm on that topic. The other thing that I really like about Amazon Relay is that they're a really big company and you don't have to really worry about them screwing you over. So you always hear these stories on DAT. Like, if you go to like their credit history on the broker, it'll tell you like, this person or this company never paid me, or they took this long to pay me, or whatever, or they canceled my route and gave it to somebody else. And things like that you hear happen with Amazon. They cancel routes. I'll go more into that later. But I really appreciate that you alleviate and you get rid of all the other people that are in the mix. It's just you and your laptop, or you and your phone, looking at the load board, determining whether you can afford to take this route or whether you want to take that route. And then the other thing too is you could post your truck, right? If you post your truck, then you have other luck there. The other thing that I like about it is just, it goes back to dealing with the factoring company. So I don't have to give a percentage out if I want to get paid faster. So sometimes Amazon, they'll pay you next business day, depending on the route it is. And sometimes they'll pay you the following Friday, depending on the route, and you'll be able to see it. If it has a little lightning bolt right next to it, that means that they're going to pay you faster. So that'll be next day pay. And then if it doesn't have the lightning bolt, you just have to wait a week. And I don't mind waiting a week, especially if I'm not gonna get charged that percentage that I would get charged if I had a factoring company, So you save yourself that money there. I really love that, and you don't really have to worry about them scamming you, because they have a reputation to keep. They don't wanna screw you over. It's pretty transparent, when it comes to everything. Once you get paid, you get an invoice, and on that invoice, if you can determine that you didn't get paid for a specific route, or you got paid less or whatever for a route, you can file a dispute and they will fix it. So it's pretty credible when it comes to all that. And the last positive thing that I would say about Amazon Relay is just the abundance of work that they have. It's not easy. Sometimes you might not see the work on the load board, but with patience and with a good strategy, you will get that work, and with time, as your performance gets better and stronger, you will get that work. Not to get off topic or anything, but just to let y'all know, if you guys aren't familiar with Amazon Relay, it's all about performance. That's all they care about. And it's like, it's no bullshit, bro. Like if you get anything underneath at 98% on your performance score, which is really easy to do, by messing up like in any little mistake, then you're gonna lose what they call early access. So typically, if you have a 98 score or above, what happens is you'll get early access to all the loads that get posted, and that is the, it's not really secret sauce, you know, but that is where it makes sense. That's where it's all beneficial. That's where you can make the money, as long as you have access to the early access. Because most of these good paying routes, well, I'd say all the good paying routes are not going to be shown to you if you don't have early access, because they're just going to get booked within that time frame. I can 100% guarantee that. If it's a shitty route, or if it's going up a mountain where people know that it's snowing, or where they don't want to be, then yeah, that route might always stay on there until somebody's willing to go that way. But for the most part, especially with this local work, everybody's going to go do it, because if you could do a 16-mile route and come back and have enough time to go do another one, like for example, me today, I'm doing a route, I'm picking up about 15 minutes away from my house, and I'm dropping off 16 miles, and they're giving me, it's Amazon to Amazon. So it's one Amazon route, one Amazon warehouse, and I'm dropping off at another one 16 miles away, and I'm getting paid $200 for that. And I'll still have the rest of my day to book everything else. So that's what I really try to take advantage of. I'll try to do like 3 or 4 of them a day, depending on, you know, obviously where my clock, and making sure I'm within compliance, obviously. But that's where I really win there with early access. One thing I am going to be straight up with y'all is, I have lost early access before. One time I was driving, I had a route at 4 in the morning. I drove to my car, or I drove to my truck, because I park it in a little structure. It's about whatever amount away from my house. And my dumbass forgot my truck keys. So I had to drive back to my house, go back to go do that. And by that time, you know, they give you 15 minutes to pick up the route from when it's due. And if your warehouse just so happens to be exactly by the book, they're going to reject it for you. They're going to cancel the route. And if you cancel a route after it's already been booked, if you are late to a route, if you are, full of disruptions, like doing things that you're not supposed to do in between the route, that's going to all drive your score down, you know. And if you're not using the app, you know, like you're used to, that's going to bring your score down. So within those 4 things, as long as you're doing all of that and you never lose early access, you're always, well, I wouldn't say you're always, because it depends on you, right? But with the right effort and the right strategy, you can always make money. You have the more of an opportunity to make money. And the reason that I think that is better for you guys out there to make relationship with other box truck drivers, especially the ones that have their own authority, is because, so like for example, me, I have a group of friends that I've met, and what I do is, sometimes if I know I can't do a route, or let's just say I accidentally double booked myself, or some emergency comes up, like my girl just had was just in labor, and I just had a baby, you know, my son was just born. If I would not have been able to pass those routes on to somebody else, I would have been screwed, because I would have had to left my girl alone, or I would have had to book that route, you know. Or I would have to have done that route. And so if y'all can make connections with drivers that you can determine that are reliable, which I guess is kind of hard, you know, it's just kind of, you're just kind of hoping that they do everything reliable, then that's another good thing that you guys can do. Because if you guys make contact with other people, sometimes like they might not be able to do a route, or sometimes you could just call them and be like, sometimes I'll call some of them and I'll be like, hey, I don't have anything for today. If you see anything pop up from these times to these times, just book it. Just let me know, just book it. I'm available. And if I'm not available, I'm gonna let you know with enough time, so that you can cancel that postal truck order, so that you don't book nothing on the load board at those times that I originally told you. So if you do lose access to your load board, make sure that you guys make connections, because that's going to be really important for y'all to continue to make money. Because those other companies can also send you the routes, attach them to you, so that they can pay you. But you know, then again, you have to trust that company is going to pay you, or that person's going to pay you. So don't just trust everybody out there. So don't mess up your performance, right? Because you're going to mess up everything with Amazon if you do that. If you feel like your performance was messed up but it's justifiable, you can file a dispute afterwards, and they do go back and fix it if they feel that it's a reasonable cause. But if you tell them like, hey, I had mechanical issues or I was stuck in traffic or anything like that, that's not a good enough answer for them. They're gonna tell you, well, you should have checked your truck earlier, or you should have went, left a lot earlier. The only thing that's excusable for them is if, like, let's say they messed up, they booked you for the wrong time, it's an Amazon schedule error, then you're not going to be liable for that. Or if it's something like weather, so if you're leaving your house, you see that it's super rainy, super snowy, or full of fog, and you don't feel comfortable driving in those conditions, let's say you have to go up and down mountains or whatever, then yeah, at that point you can reject the route and it's not going to affect you. But more than likely, there's not really an excuse that you can give them to fix your dispute, unless it's something that's out of your control. But as far as cons, I've been talking too much about all that other stuff. But as far as the things that I don't like, it's just two things. And to be quite honest, I don't think it's too bad of a thing, because the first one is just that they are notorious for canceling routes. So sometimes they'll have a semi that they're able to fit all the pallets or all the carts on their thing, and they'll be able to do the route, and they don't need you, so they'll cancel it. So that's the only thing that sucks, right? When there's not enough volume, or let's just say they overbook. Sometimes you'll book a route, you'll go pick it up from a third party that's not Amazon, and another box truck also got that same route, and they just so happen to beat you. And let's say Amazon put in a request for two, because they thought that it would be they would only need two. But when you get to the warehouse, they tell you, hey, that other box truck that was just here took the route. Then you're gonna lose out on that thing right there on the route. But the good thing is that they'll pay you $175, because if it gets canceled before 2 hours or within 2 hours of your route, you still get $175. That strategy sucks if you're OTR and you end up having to drive a couple hours away to go pick up something. Then yeah, $175 doesn't seem reasonable. But somebody in my position that is only focusing on local work, majority of my routes are 50 miles and under. I will drive up to 300 miles if I have to, but I really try to leverage my local strategies that I've been telling you guys about. So them canceling the routes, it does suck. It's better if they cancel it within the 2 hours, so at least you get that 175. If they don't, you just take that loss. You just go back on the load board. You just start looking for more stuff right then and there. The other thing that sucks is the sometimes, like in the beginning, they'll post routes for super cheap. It'll be like $1 something a mile, or like the low twos a mile. And some people get like the scarcity that they'll just book all the routes at that. So that does suck. That's not my fault. Amazon is doing what they have to do to save money. But then, the thing that sucks is that this has nothing to do with Amazon. The thing that sucks is that on that load board, I wish I could just speak to the people that are booking those routes at $1 or whatever, or the low twos, and just tell them like, yo, just relax, bro. Just relax. Wait for this route to be on there a little bit longer, because the closer it gets to the due date, the more that they're going to pay for it. I don't take a route at less than $4 a mile, And most of my routes are paying me at least $4 a mile or more. Like the one today is paying me like $20 a mile or something like that, because it's very, very short in distance. And so you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you're trying to take these low paying routes, because especially if you're in my position where you're taking these routes at a low paying rate and you're going to drive far, you're going to be stuck in traffic and all that stuff. Like, it's just not worth it, So that's that right there. I know that that's not Amazon's fault, as far as like everybody else booking routes. That's a con that has to do with the drivers, The only thing that I really do hate about Amazon is just the way that they cancel routes, But that routes can get canceled anywhere. I have more positive to say than negativity with Amazon, The only thing that I can tell you guys, man, is that just make sure that y'all don't book your routes cheaper than what you're supposed to. Make sure that you guys know when usually the routes get posted every week, because routes for the following week. So for example, in my area, every Wednesday, routes get posted for the following week. And it might not be like that in your state or where you're at. It might be that they get posted on Thursdays, So you just want to make sure when the routes go out, and then if you're not able to get something through there, just make sure that you're always on the load board so that you can make that money. And then the last thing would be is just make sure that you post your truck. Post your truck. Don't be too greedy with the posted truck, and just go from there. Make your contacts, and all that stuff. And I don't see why you guys can't win in Amazon. Me personally, like I said, I'm not going to dive too deep into the strategy that I have when it comes to how I book my routes and what I do on a daily basis. I'll get deeper into that if y'all end up being more interested in that. But enough of my rant. If you guys are out there and you're brand new, you haven't started, you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the comments or hit me up to my email, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Be smart, you guys. Be disciplined. Be consistent. Because there's people out there that are going to take so much advantage of you if you just let them. Learn how to be independent. Learn how to do things on your own. If somebody like a broker or somebody ends up not wanting to work with you no more or whatever, you want to make sure that you're able to do these things on your own and not have to rely on anybody. And yeah, I have a lot of videos coming up, and I hope that y'all watch these, man. I hope that y'all are learning from these. And if you guys have anything that I'm not covering in these videos and you guys want to know, just please feel free to give me any ideas down in the comments as well. Y'all have a good rest of your week. I'll see y'all later.